Empathy is contagious and can change depending on the reactions of others. Compassion and empathy can be socially transmitted and spread to others if enough people show it. This means that people can gain or lose empathy by observing their surroundings, or at least that's what recent research shows. A new study conducted by an international team of scientists led by Professor Grit Heine from the Center for Mental Health at the University Hospital Wurzburg, UKW, shows that empathy can be transmitted socially. It can be gained or learned, and its level can change depending on the reactions of others. Therefore, if someone surrounds themselves with people with a lot of empathy, they will probably also be one of them. But this relationship works both ways, and a lack of empathy can also be contagious. The description and results of the research were published in the journal PNAS. Empathy is the ability to recognize, understand and experience another person's thoughts and feelings. People exhibit this trait from birth. Building healthy relationships and showing compassion requires the development of empathy, and this develops throughout childhood and adolescence. It involves experiencing another person's perspective in addition to your own. Moreover, it helps us cooperate and make friends, as well as make some decisions. However, it seems that not only children but also adults can adopt empathetic responses. They are also impressionable and can learn to show compassion by observing others. Nevertheless, most people probably have more empathy for people like them than for those who are not members of their family, community, race or culture. Professor Grit Heine attempted to assess empathic abilities. She managed to capture this complex social phenomenon using mathematical models and map it to the adult brain using functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI. Its determination shows how the mechanism of social transfer of empathy works. Heine posed the question, is empathy, or the lack thereof, for another person's pain or misfortune transmitted socially? To answer them, she conducted an experiment in which over 50 people participated. The individual level of empathy was assessed based on a video showing painful hand stimulation. After watching it, participants rated their own feelings while watching the film. They were then shown different people's reactions to the film and their empathy levels were measured again. This allowed us to assess whether and how a person's empathy changes in the presence of people with high empathy and those who lack it. Participants' displays of empathy tended to increase when they observed others expressing compassion, but decreased when others did not. This suggests that our empathy is inconsistent and dependent on the people and circumstances in our immediate environment. Depending on whether empathic responses were observed or not, participants' empathy scores increased or decreased. Interestingly, the response of neurons in response to images of another person's pain also changed, Heine says. Imaging using an fMRI scanner to assess neuronal activity in specific areas of the brain showed changes in a region of the brain called the insula, specifically in its anterior part. This area is associated with the processing of emotions, including empathy. Using mathematical models, The team showed that changes in empathy are likely based on actual learning, rather than imitation or a desire to please others. Adults can learn or unlearn empathy through observation, even from people they don't know, emphasizes Hine. Therefore, people creating the work environment must be aware that such behavior shapes employees in the long run and, therefore, affects their interactions with clients or patients. Previous research has shown that positive empathy can turn into pro-social motivation, increasing cooperation and willingness to help. However, excessive empathy can also lead in the other direction, causing stress and potentially resulting in burnout or complete withdrawal. The good news from our research is that we have the opportunity to shape empathic abilities in adults using appropriate means. It works in both directions, says Hine. You can learn empathy from others. However, for empathy to develop in the long term, an atmosphere of mutual respect is required. You can respect someone without showing empathy for them. But developing empathy is a challenge if the person is not respected or if disrespect is accepted in society, he adds. COVID-19 may have long-term effects on cognitive function and memory. Coronavirus can affect cognitive abilities and memory even a year after the illness. New research suggests that people who have had a severe infection and been ill for a long time have memory and cognitive deficits equivalent to a difference of about 6 IQ points. Research conducted by scientists from Imperial College London revealed slight deficits in performing cognitive and memory tasks in people who had COVID-19 compared to people who did not become infected with SARS-CoV-2. The greatest problems occurred among people who were hospitalized, had long-term symptoms, so-called long COVID-19, or were infected with previous variants of the virus. The description and results of the research were published in the New England Journal of Medicine. Over 140,000 people took part in the British research. Participants experienced varying degrees of COVID-19 severity and varying lengths of symptom duration. They were asked to complete a specially prepared online cognitive assessment, which consisted of tasks that detected subtle changes in various aspects of their brain functioning, such as memory, reasoning, executive functions, attention and impulsivity. The large scale of the study and the sensitivity of computerized testing allowed for a detailed examination of factors explaining cognitive deficits after COVID-19, while taking into account population variables such as age, demographics and pre-existing conditions. They found that mild cognitive deficits were still detectable a year or more after infection. This also included people who had a short-term illness. However, people whose symptoms lasted 12 weeks or longer, long COVID-19, who were hospitalized due to the disease, or who were infected with one of the early variants of the SARS-CoV-2 virus had greater problems. The study results showed that COVID-19 was associated with deficits in many areas. First of all, it affected memory. It impaired the ability to remember images or objects seen a few minutes earlier. Scientists believe this may be due to problems with creating new memories rather than accelerated forgetting. Some people also showed slight deficits in some tasks testing executive and reasoning skills, e.g. requiring spatial planning or verbal reasoning. The potential long-term impact of COVID-19 on cognitive function is of concern to the public, healthcare professionals and policymakers. By using our online platform to measure multiple aspects of cognitive function and memory on a large scale, we were able to detect small but measurable deficits in cognitive task performance. We also found that infection affects people in different ways, depending on factors such as the duration of the disease, the variant of the virus and hospitalization, said Professor Adam Hampshire from the Department of Brain Sciences at Imperial College London, lead author of the paper. The difference in test scores between infected and uninfected people was equivalent to about 3 IQ points. According to the researchers, it is unlikely that this amount of change would be noticeable, although some people may have experienced more pronounced effects. It was found that in patients with severe symptoms whose symptoms lasted longer than 12 weeks, the deficit was greater and could be translated into 6 IQ points. Among such patients, deficits were most noticeable and encompassed a broader range of cognitive functions. It's not at all clear what brain fog actually is. This is a symptom that has been widely reported, but our study shows that brain fog may correlate with objectively measurable deficits. This is quite an important discovery, said Hampshire.